What's up, guys?
Party people, we are back.
Yeah, buddy.
Music Mayhem is back again. I know we've been gone for a little while.
Yep.
We are going to start getting back into using this page a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's great to see you. I'm Danny.
I'm Riley. As you know, we are pretty much strictly to music reaction videos. More times than not, we typically try to go out of our comfort zone when it comes to what we're reacting to. I know that what we're about to do right now is a band that both of us are very much into.
Yep.
But this is their new single. It's from the band of Mice and Men. The song is called How to Survive. We have heard this song before, so I feel like it is kind of putting a little bit of a hindrance already on what we're going to do, but you're still going to get our raw reaction to it.
Yep.
We're going to dig into the lyrics a little bit just because it is a hard song, and we haven't really had the chance to know what exactly is being said through the entirety of the song. So we do want to get into that a little bit and see if maybe it legitimizes why we like the song, or maybe if it pulls us back a little bit, if you will.
Yep.
But again, if you like what we do, please subscribe to our page. I know that we enjoy all of the feedback, whether it's terrible or good or whatever. We're fine with it.
Right.
If you have suggestions for what we should do next, please send that our way as well. Because we would love to hear maybe the outside view of what you think we should react to.
Right. And even if the genre isn't necessarily what we like, that's actually even more.
That's what we prefer.
That's more fuel to our fire.
Right.
So please, like, share, subscribe, whatever the case may possibly be. But we're glad to be back.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anything, we are glad to be back. So we are going to go ahead. We are going to get into this right now of Mice and Men, How to Survive.
Yeah, let's go. So there's obviously, because it's so new, there's no video to this. We're just listening to the song essentially at this point.
And the first thing that I'm noticing is the fact that there is actually a DJ involved, which is weird.
Right.
It's a great sound, man.
I really like the intro to the song.
It's very of Mice and Men.
Yeah. And even though this is not typically my type of sound, I do like the fact of knowing the history of the band between us and digging into them, knowing that the original people that were typically the people to take care of the screaming part is now being taken over by somebody who was the melodic part, or the singer, if you will, of the band.
Let's pause this for a second. All right, so initial thoughts, and I'm going to try as best as I can to go back to my original thought process.
When you first heard it?
When I first heard this. Okay. Because, when I sent you, hey, a Mice and Men new single just came out.
You didn't know how you felt.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, man.
Yeah.
Because it had a little bit of a difference in sound. The one thing that I can compare it to is the fact that they let us know ahead of time that it was going to be a harder album.
Oh, sure.
So in comparison,
what they got with
Lamb of God's producer,
right? I mean, so you already know that he was going to be like, yeah, let's push the limit a little bit here,
right? So when it comes down to that, I'd like to compare it to how I felt when I heard that Disturbed was going to be doing a completely different album. Other than what they are normally used to putting out.
Yeah, what they're accustomed to.
Right.
Yeah.
And we all know, well, you don't know, but you know.
Right.
that I hate that fucking album.
Yeah.
But I love Disturbed,
Yes, you do.
which is even crazier for me to sit there and say I hate this fucking album. But when I first heard this song, it was tough for me to swallow. It was a little too hard. And I love screaming shit. I do. I love Slipknot. No, but this was not the Of Mice and Men that I was accustomed to listening to. This kind of brought the original Of Mice and Men back.
Sure.
It was mainly screaming and whatever.
Right.
And you said it yourself. Aaron, the lead singer, who's also the bassist, wasn't even a part of the band when they first got together.
Right.
It was a guy named Shane. And Austin was the original
Screamer.
lead singer, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And neither of them were there. And Aaron has now been taking on the lyrics.
He's
part
taking
of it.
the reins essentially.
Right. As far as singing and screaming.
Yeah.
And if we go back to their Defy album, which I believe they did it complete justice with his singing
and screaming.
Right. I thought they did it. I thought it was a beautiful balance between the two. So when I first heard this song, I thought it was a little too much for what I liked about Of Mice and Men.
Okay.
With that being said, musically, I think it's fucking fantastic. I really do. I like the riff, a little bit of a fucking breakdown in the middle there, and then they change back to the hard part. Then they soften it up a little bit, but it's all screaming,
right?
So that's the part that kind of threw me off a little bit.
Sure. So, just so that we don't go too long, and I know that we were kind of talking through the first part of the first course.
We did.
So we'll get a little bit into the lyrics, and then we'll kind of let it play out a little bit. That way the audience can hear it.
You get the general gist of what's going on.
So the lyrics to start the song is, it's time for a fight. Now they're drawing their lines, and it's not right when you're stuck picking sides. If I can't see it, then how can I believe it? Tell me how you live. If you hide what eats you alive, when no one sees you, tell me how you live. It's time for a fight between the heart and the mind, and it's not right when you're picking sides. I mean, as much as it's not an over elaborate picture of what you're doing, I think that we can agree that compared to what we typically do reaction videos to when it comes to a genre that is outside of our music, even though you're not getting a clear story, you're still kind of getting the emotion behind what he's maybe trying to say. Is that there's kind of a disconnect, or there's a divide when you're trying to pick between sides, and so that's why you have this back and forth type of conflict type of thing. I could be completely wrong. I don't know where their headset was at making it, but it seems like there's at least a little bit of thought process when it comes to a lyricist side, even though you're screaming the whole thing essentially.
Sure. Well, I will, to expand upon that, I will tell you that after listening to those lyrics, it kind of, besides the fact that the name of the song is How to Survive, listening to the opening lyrics, I kind of feel like this is almost a struggle within one's self, not necessarily struggling with anything else or having to choose between this, that, or the other. It's almost making you or me feel like I need to choose what path I would like to take on my own accord.
Right.
So I'm glad we're digging into the lyrics a little bit. It's making me think that this is a little bit more personal than it is just a general. Oh, I'll teach you how to survive.
Yeah, let's just blast it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'll teach you how to survive.
Sure.
And then once we get into the chorus, there's a few other lyrics that we know just from listening to this song.
Yeah. Let's see if that's there real quick.
So I like this. I do.
Okay. Well, let's while I get that pulled back up, let's go back in and we'll listen a little bit more. We'll maybe be a little bit more quiet. This quiet around.
Yeah. Let it ride. Fucking musically, this is great, bro. Fucking Valentino's getting it on the drums, bro. Love that little halftime right there, that little triplet action. Oh, hit us with that ride. Fucking drum part is incredible with this song, bro.
Okay. So I'm going to come out and preface this by saying that I apologize. Apparently the source that I had on the original lyrics was completely off.
Well, I know nothing about this.
Right. I thought what I had up was a credible source, but then when I tried to look for the chorus, it wasn't there. So I had to pull another source.
All right, so this video's fucked. Let's keep going.
Right. So let me just kind of try and backtrack a little bit and maybe get into what is really going on here because I have the chorus and the verses and all that.
Okay. So none of it was right?
None of it was right.
Wow.
It was
all right.
So Google, you're fired.
Apparently we are as well.
Right. So the first verse is they look down from their ivory tower at a world they never really knew. They light their torches and draw their arrows. They're on the hunt, and tonight the prey is you. But I can show you what it's like. And then it goes into the chorus. What it's like to be hated, what it's like to be degraded, what it's like to be a target, but have skin as thick as steel. I'll show you how to bring chaos. I'll show you how to be dangerous. Oh, God damn it.
That actually sounds like the lyrics. So what I just said earlier about it being a struggle within, nope.
No, it almost makes it seem like it's like how do you make yourself tougher? Like how do you deal with the shit that's being thrown at you, and how to push past it, and kind of like, okay, I'm going to show you what it's like to feel the way that maybe I have felt.
Yeah.
And then that will be your way to survive, essentially. How to push past the downfalls and the if you will, fucking punches to get yourself past that point.
Maybe bullying a little bit.
Maybe.
And show you what it's like to be hated, what it's like to be degraded.
Yeah.
So what it's like to be
almost that thought process of like how years ago it was like, oh, it gets better. Like in a not soft way, it was like, okay, you just got to push past what's hitting you in the face, essentially, because it's going to make you stronger.
Well, sure.
You don't let it defeat you, essentially. And then at that point, you're now looking at everybody else and say, oh, you're trying to put this on me. But in the same aspect, even though it's kind of saying, I'll show you what it's like. That
When
could
it's
be
still on you.
that could be an aggressive type of way to look at it, but essentially it's okay. It's really on you. Like you're now feeling the way that you kind of tried to make me feel.
Well, sure. I mean, I'll show you how I dealt with said issue.
Right.
You know, but nonetheless, it's completely different than what we were talked about.
God damn you, Google.
Right?
Hates you so much right now.
Fuck us, and let's finish the
Yeah, let's
song.
just finish the fucking song. Jesus Christ.
Hold on, pause it. What does he say right there?
Pardon me while I open it back up.
In a world that's whatever.
Yeah. All right, so let's see.
Because when we go to the show next month, I want to sing that shit.
Okay, so what's different from the first chorus to the second one and third one is the second chorus is what it's like to be hated.
Yep.
What it's like to be degraded.
Yep.
What it's like to be a target.
Yep.
But have skin as thick as steel. I'll show you how to bring chaos.
Yep.
I'll show you how to be dangerous.
Yep.
In a world that teaches an eye for an eye, I'll show you how to survive.
Okay. In a world that teaches an eye for an eye, I'll teach you how to survive. Okay. I like this shit.
I think that almost maybe brings it back to what we were just saying is that how I was kind of saying that maybe it might not be so malicious. It's a little malicious. Like, okay, you did it to me.
Yeah.
So now I'm about to give it right back because now I'm fucking stronger.
Sure.
I'm that guy.
That's exactly right.
And what's crazy about that is that that part, now that I know what it actually says, I can kind of relate to.
Well,
because I was the type of person that was bullied and was fucking made to feel like I was not okay. I was not normal or whatever. And I never really wanted to be normal.
Well, sure.
But now it's like, okay, now I look upon other people and it's like, yeah, I have this good fucking nature and all this shit, but you want to come that direction again and understand that you are now going to be the person that is going to regret, or I'll show you how you made me feel at that point.
Sure.
So, with that being said, there's only a few seconds left in this.
I fucking like those lyrics, though, bro.
I do as well. It's better than the first ones that we got.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Apparently, we didn't have 50 seconds. We had 2 seconds.
Right.
Right.
So. All right.
No,
we literally at the beginning stages of this video, we fucked up everything. Whatever it is, but
and I hope if you've made it to this point, I'm glad you stuck with us through that because I did not. For all intents and purposes, I thought I was right, but
right,
and then Thankfully, I fucking made another source out of it and realized I was fucking way off.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, right. So, but nonetheless.
We all make mistakes, okay? You simmer down.
Nonetheless, our goal behind this particular video was to, dig into lyrics that we weren't sure about.
Well, maybe legitimize whether we liked the song for the sound or for the lyrics. And I think that we can agree that we originally kind of, and I know that you were off on it at first, but I dug it. I think that we can both agree, though, that as it started growing, it was still because a majority of the sound, as opposed to the lyrics, because we didn't really dig into the lyrics.
That's right.
I think that now getting into the lyrics, it kind of gives you a little bit more perspective and a little bit more of a reason to like it. And I think that that's why we always preface these other videos that we do that are not in our genre as to why we have an issue with those.
Right, because we pay attention to the lyrics.
Right.
And the lyrics are trash.
We want every song to paint something for us, to give even if it's not completely clear, at least we can kind of get an idea of what you're trying to think about, the message you're trying to portray.
Correct.
So I think that's why we are where we are.
Yep.
But again,
I
I like this song. I really do. I'm excited to see what the rest of this album has to come, considering this is the only leaked single off of this album so far.
Just another vinyl that I need to buy.
Right. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and cut this off. I'm Riley.
And I am Danny.
We will get you guys again here shortly with something I'm sure random as hell.
For anybody who likes rock music, we are very impatiently waiting the arrival for the first I Prevail single from the new album that's coming out.
100,000
Trauma
shares.
So whenever that comes out, believe me, we will be on this motherfucker for the first time. We won't even listen to it prior to. We are going to give you 100% a general reaction video to that song. And that is a band that he and I both love.
Yeah.
So it's a very anticipated album, and it's coming out very, very shortly. Once again, I am Danny.
I'm Riley. Subscribe,
please,
all that good stuff.
Please.
Let us know what you want us to react to.
That's right.
And we will be back at you guys soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.